welcome to Coffee with the Mayor. I'm Teresa Aronson, and I'm here, of course, with none other than the mayor of this beautiful city, Mr. Gregory Oravec. Thank you for being with us. We missed a month. I'm glad to have you back. It's nice to see you.
I haven't seen you in a year.
I feel like it has been a year. I saw you yesterday for like 5 minutes, and that's about it in a month or two.
It's like, wow, I can't believe it's 2020, and we're already getting through February here.
We got to get
Normally
cracking.
we'd be halfway, but we get an extra day this year.
Yeah.
Happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
Yes, for those of you watching at home, I hope you had a great Valentine's Day and got all the chocolate you could eat.
Well, for the group that's here, and because, of course, as mayor, I care about your well-being, please make sure that you get something nice for your significant other. All right?
Really? Is that, are you speaking from experience?
I'm still working on my plan. Still working on it.
Well, I'm very proud of last year, if you'll remember, I told you I got my husband a bag of money because that's what he likes, and you said it wasn't very romantic. This year, I went all out and I brought Tupperware and got him some free coffee cake from this very show.
Maybe the money was better.
And it could. You didn't think I could get any worse, but I'm pretty sure I can top it. So yes, that's what he got this year, and I'm excited about it. He loves
it's
that
all in
coffee
the delivery.
cake.
Yes.
Yeah, he is. Good. Well, what do you have for us? Anything you want to tease before we speak with our sponsor?
No, let's get the sponsor up here. I'd love to hear from the audience today, and there is a lot going on. We do have the Citizen Summit coming up. We had a great River Nights last night. We should talk about that. And some members of the audience were at River Nights, and I'm glad that they imbibed responsibly. They were here before I was, right on time. So well done, well done. Way to have fun, but not too much fun. That is my advice.
Did you have too much fun?
No. After River Nights, I had to go to Aldi, make dinner because Tanya had strep throat this week.
Oh no.
And then I had to unlock a car on the turnpike. So, it's a bacteria. I'm not carrying it.
Okay,
you're good.
Yeah, when I get pneumonia, it's typically bacteria. So I'm fine, but people just look at you like, oof, get away from me. But good. Well, I hope Tanya feels better. I mean, that's not a great way to spend Valentine's Day.
I'm gonna test her before our romantic evening.
You're gonna take swabs.
Just gonna make sure. Yeah, just let me get a quick sample, honey. Let me just make sure you're good there.
Very good. All right. Well, it sounds great, and we'll talk about all that. We're gonna visit with our sponsor because they had a big event at their Mid-Florida Event Center. The brand new Mid-Florida Event Center. So we'll talk about that a little bit too.
Okay, great.
All right, so we're gonna take a break. We'll come right back with our sponsor, which of course is Mid-Florida Credit Union.
There it is.
Yeah. Welcome back to Coffee with the Mayor. I'm Teresa Aronson, and over on the other side,
I'm Greg Oravec.
This beautiful
the mayor.
lady. Yes, the mayor. But we have, of course, our sponsor has joined us, and it is Shrita Walker, one of our favorites from the Mid-Florida family.
Woo! Yes.
And today, she wanted the mayor to be up here with us, and I like it. So very good.
This is his show.
It is his show.
That's why I like it when, every once in a while she lets me say who I am. It feels so weird when she does it all the time.
When I always introduce you, it's habit. It's habit.
And welcome to the chambers that you have all those meetings in.
Yes. You usually sit at the helm.
Here, right there in the middle with your
welcome to this
magical hammer.
Super expensive desk, which I think is yours as well, but I'm not sure.
Well, it's the people's. Everything is.
Yeah, it is the people. We did donate this. Actually, the city of Fort Pierce did.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, they did.
That's going to come back.
I know. But they did. All right, so let's get to you. We digress. See, aren't you sorry you asked for us both to be up here now? You're not going to get a word in edgewise.
That's okay. You already know everything about Mid-Florida, too.
I know a lot about Mid-Florida, I have to say. I am a quick study.
Yes.
I had a year to do it because they have previously, that last year they were our sponsor as well.
Yes.
So,
they made a very large investment in the community. I really appreciate that about them. And of course, I appreciate their history of really being a credit union for teachers first. So I just feel like it's a like-minded institution. So it's one of the things that I love about Mid-Florida.
Yeah, and they're a nonprofit, and people don't understand that. They think of financial institutions as these big money-making investor wheels, but the members are the investors.
Absolutely.
Good.
Co-owned by the members.
So
what's your message today? What do you want to tell the people of Port St. Lucie?
Well, as you stated, we are definitely glad to be here. It is a partnership. We are your community credit union, so we're doing our part to give back to the community. And we have lots of specials going on right now, CD specials, checking account specials, $200, you can get $300. There's different things that you have to do, but fairly easy.
I just did one.
Yes.
Yeah, I just did one with them. But my favorite is the Christmas Club.
Oh, yes, our holiday club.
Holiday Club, you're right. It's not a Christmas club. That was my bad. I apologize to everybody. It's a holiday club. You're
Holiday
right.
club, yes, and it is paying 2% up to $4,000.
Yeah.
Very good. Safe for the holidays.
And of course, not only did I miss last month's coffee with the mayor, I also missed the unveiling of the Mid-Florida
Yeah, that's right. You were
Credit
busy.
Union Event Center.
Yes.
And so that came out well. And did you get to go to the Styx concert?
I actually let my staff go to the Styx concert, so they had a really, really good time.
Maylene said yesterday she wasn't sure if it was her type of music. She wasn't familiar with
Yes.
Styx. And she ended up saying she loved it.
She did, yes.
Maylene from Mid-Florida. They had a good time. She said her husband was dancing.
I would have loved to see that.
Yes, that was very good.
So I've been at the city in different capacities for a long time, and it's some of the best feedback that I've ever received about an event at the Styx concert. So just really nothing but good things. I wasn't able to go, actually got sick that weekend, so I wasn't able to attend. But really, you know how normally, even on something good, when you're dealing with this many people, you're still going to get some comments and maybe some crankiness. Nothing. I mean, really, the worst comment was very constructive. So
That's what I
nothing
heard.
but
It was
nothing but
constructive.
good
Yeah,
comments.
for the first one. I'm excited about Little River Band coming up.
Oh, good.
Not too many people are familiar with Little River Band, but I am a huge fan. So I'm hoping people will go out and listen to it, download some songs, and maybe they'll be there with me.
So are you holding out for someone in particular? You know, because maybe you could use your pull, you know,
To come to the event center?
sweeten
Yes.
the contract
Don't
up a
say
little with some of
Beyonce, 'cause
that,
we're
with some
not
of that
giving her.
Mid-Florida Credit Union money.
See, there we go. Didn't we just talk about that?
Yes.
What's that? Always wanting more? What?
Mid-Florida Credit Union money, yes. Remember, we give back to the people.
I know. I was just asking for a little more.
He is technically part of the people.
Linda and her team do an awesome job at the event
Yeah, they
center.
do.
Because I think the sponsorship level is $195,000 for over a 5-year period, and I was just always wondering why we couldn't round that up to 2. I mean, we were so close. That would have given us an even mill. You know, that's just me.
Aren't you excited?
I
you
am
asked
working
him
on
to
behalf of
join
the
us
people.
Today? This is her idea. Yeah, I want the mayor to stay.
That's as work, but that's as tough as I get on her
No,
because
that's true.
she's obviously great.
Yeah.
And Mid-Florida Credit Union's been a great addition to the community.
And they're giving back in all kinds of places. I'm excited.
Thank you.
But Dream Concert.
Yeah.
At
Answer the
city.
question.
What is it?
We're not letting you out of this place till you answer. Just dream. Don't worry about
Yeah,
Triss's fake rules. Just
Yes, it could be. Yes, it could be anybody.
Who is it?
Anybody.
I'm trying to think who my dream concert.
I just
would
have to
be.
pick one.
You can pick like a lineup.
I don't know.
Oh, we could do Mid-Florida Credit Union Palooza.
Yes.
I like that. Who would you want to see there?
Well, you're supposed to give us
Who
the.
would you want to see there? Who's your dream concert?
Oh, she's not going to answer. So poor
not
Jonathan.
here.
Jonathan.
To be honest, my last concert I attended was U2.
Oh,
Jonathan
come on up here, Jonathan.
said you too. That's a
That would be one of mine.
It would be one of yours.
Yeah, that would be one of mine.
I'm
Yes.
trying to think.
But that's old school. I could,
Yeah.
I could really a lot.
Yeah, I'm kind of.
What era are we going? Are we going when I had hair and was in elementary or middle school, or are
Elvis
we?
passed away. I hate to
Yeah.
break it to you.
Again, I believe that you're older than me, ma'am. I was born in '74. I was born in
Every time I
1974.
make a crack, he hits me with that, which
Yeah.
is, scary truths.
Tina Turner. That would be
Tina
good.
Turner?
Oh, Tina Turner. Wouldn't that be
I
awesome?
think so.
You want to hear a little private dancer? A dancer for money?
Hey.
Yes.
All right.
Tina Turner.
I don't know. I guess it is Valentine's Day.
I know it. All right, you too, Tina Turner. Sounds pretty darn good.
What else do we got?
We'll get
Who
Linda on
sings
that.
Big Wheels Keep on Turning? Who's that?
That's her.
Creedence Clearwater, originally. And then
Okay.
Tina did
Did
it.
it? There you go.
Well, see, that's my version of it. So there.
Your version is the Tina version, but Creedence Clearwater originally, revival.
All right. Well, I'd rather see Tina.
Then Creedence, some of them have passed away as well.
But I mean, I'd be interested in a lot. Just like
would too.
I would have gone to Styx, even though that wasn't my jam necessarily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like some Sticks, I do. I'm not a, Mr. Roboto, I kind of check out.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't just see the pleasure of enjoying the gimmick.
I don't love it, gimmick, and with my music.
Domo
I gotta
arigato,
be-
Mr. Roboto. Domo.
You know, Gangnam Style, all the gimmicks.
I'm
not into it. but-
You too was good, Jonathan.
Yes,
that was
very
good.
nice. You
But
two's
I
good.
could listen to like if we got a throwback to the '80s, like a Duran Duran. I could
I love
listen
Duran
to that.
Duran. Duran Duran's good.
Yeah.
My husband's making me go to somebody else's theater. I won't say who. Newly named in West Palm Beach, and we're going to see Sammy Hagar and Night Ranger and Whitesnake. Now I'm really dating myself. Yeah. So yes,
Night Ranger.
they had one hit.
Don't tell me you love me. What is?
No, Sister is the Night Ranger hit, I think. Sister Christian, that's what it was. Yes. Sister was another band
You
from the
guys
same
go ahead
time
and cover
period.
this. I'm gonna look.
Are you
Yes,
going
Sister
to?
Christian. It's not. They will be the opening band at like 4 o'clock. Trust me, they got one hit. But
Okay.
yeah. And sadly, I've already seen them when I was in my teens. So anyway, okay.
Oh, Mike, see, look at this. You just put me on the game show. This is the Night Ranger song that I remember. Go ahead. I got to get through this commercial.
He's got to get through the YouTube commercial. All right.
So,
but yes.
well, let's remind people of where we're.
I hope it has no swear words in it. I don't think it does. Back when MTV actually had videos, this is where they're on the railroad tracks, I'm pretty sure. This is what Chris is into, everybody. Just so you know what you're dealing with here at the chamber. Oh, this is a good song.
Opening band. I do like Sammy Hagar.
You gonna listen to a little Rat also?
I saw Rat in concert too.
See, I called it.
I did. The 80s were
great
full
song.
of concerts.
Yeah.
In the 80s, we listened to music, watched videos, and went to concerts.
But with Sammy Hagar, so I can't drive 55.
Yeah.
Which everyone in Port St. Lucie should be able to drive less than 55 because unless you're on the turnpike or 95, you're breaking the law. And then he's gonna maybe do a little Van Halen.
I don't know if he can or not. It depends, you know what I mean? Because this is Sammy Hagar concert, so sometimes and Eddie Van Halen wrote most of those. He has to give him express permission to sing.
Oh, really?
Van Halen. Yeah,
Express?
yes, he does. So I don't know. We might just get a whole lot of I can't drive 55. But we'll see.
All right, well, we've gone way far afield here. Now we'll bring it back in.
Bring you back. You're
You want,
watching Coffee
any
with the
closing
Mayor.
message to this?
We just
to this
visited
group?
with our sponsor, Mid-Florida Credit Union.
And come visit
And
the
got-
branches.
Way off the tracks.
You know
Where are
they
your branches? Where would you want them to visit? I'm sure you want them to be in the city. But I guess if they have to go to unincorporated St. Lucie County, then go to your US 1 location.
True. I want them to come visit all the branches on the Treasure Coast, actually.
Okay, wow.
Yes.
All right, that's a growing number.
But I went to her branch yesterday.
And her branch, is it St. Lucie West or is it Gatlin?
My office at St. Lucie West.
St. Lucie West.
Yes.
Oh, you have the 2-story building.
Yes.
So you must be a big boss then.
I just do my part.
All right, Shrita, we're going to let you off the hook.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Everyone give it up for
Take a break,
Mid-Florida.
everybody. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Coffee with the Mayor. I want to take a moment to thank At Your Service Catering, who provides the coffee in Danish, and I've said it a million times. I
And
love
your
their
husband's
coffee.
Valentine's Day present.
And his Valentine's Day present. And it was so sad. I was out there waiting for everybody to go through the line because I didn't want to start stuffing my Tupperware. Like, hey, thank you for coming to the show. Move out of the way while I take all the coffee cake. So I was very scared I was going to have nothing for him. But I managed to grab some coffee cake. Thank you, Lucy Bravo, for stealing that for me. But they're a great caterer, and they have gotten business from being
So
here.
you took food out of the mouths of the public and your members so that you could bring it home for your own private use.
If anybody is in need of a piece of coffee cake, I will share some with you. Pat has it in a Tupperware and back. I think there might be some left still. There's still more left. So I didn't. Okay. So yes, but and that's why I didn't want to go first.
You could give Marisol all she wants. 4 crumbs, she'd be full.
I know Marisol doesn't eat much. Anyway, and you are.
The mayor, Greg Warbeck. Yes, nice to see you again.
You said you like it when you get to introduce yourself sometimes.
It's just like that's a weird experience, but it's all good. You
It's
do
okay?
you.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I want to remind everybody you can watch us on Comcast 20 and UVerse 99. If you have one of those services, you can watch us at home. But I always tell everybody, go to the YouTube channel. That way you can binge watch episodes of Coffee with the Port St. Lucie Mayor.
Oh, binge watch.
Binge watch, like watch them all. Go back like 10 years.
We're not to that level yet.
No.
We'll try to keep it interesting.
Dare to dream. So what do we got going on? We're going to take some questions? Or?
Yeah, we'll definitely do some questions. So I see my friend Gary Smith out there.
Yes.
And so let me just do my announcement and ask for your help in keeping Port St. Lucie beautiful and trying to keep us as litter-free as possible. Of course, that means, and I know no one in this room litters, but it could happen that a strong gust of wind came through your car and blew out a piece of paper, and maybe you couldn't track it down. Do us a favor and pick up 2 pieces of paper somewhere else. If you go to a shopping plaza where the parking lot is littered, please let the manager of the business you're going to know about it. If you're a property owner, please keep your property clean. If you live on a major road like Floresta or any road and there's garbage in your swale, please, just please grab that. We need your help. We have teams across the city picking up litter every day, but we have almost 1,000 lane miles of roads, and we're a growing, bustling place. We have a lot of visitors. And until we build a better, more perfect world where everyone does the right thing all the time, the people who care the most got to pick up the slack. And that's groups like this, and certainly Gary and People Serious About Litter, PSL.
Well, interesting that you should bring up Gary and People Serious About Litter. He works closely with Carmen Capizzuto from Neighborhood Services here right at the city. And we're going to work together to implement a new program to sort of award businesses out in St. Lucie West for taking ownership of their area. Don't say, oh, I work here, but I'm not in charge of the parking lot, that sort of thing. So we're going to help them out, and we're going to put a program in place that sort of rewards them. Perhaps we might have a litter leader right here on the show sometime that's done a great job so that we can get them to do it instead of...
That's outstanding.
Yeah, so we'll have more about that in the future.
The city's really on the upswing, and at the foundation, it's not fancy stuff, it's not crazy technology. It's just doing the basics at a very high level. And it's really hard to get more basic than just keeping it clean. And being clean lends to other things like being beautiful, being safe. And as we continue to grow, we're probably over 200,000 now. It's my hope that we always stay true to who we are and who we've been that's made us special. And even though we're hustling and bustling and we got a lot of visitors, never want the parking lots or the roads to feel like South Florida or the I-4 corridor or a big city in the Northeast. Let's always just stay clean, green, and beautiful. And what I like to say is that we're working morning, noon, and night to build a better Port St. Lucie. And that's what we need from our business owners and our property owners. We need to work morning, noon, and night, literally. So if you own a business, you should check your parking lot morning, noon, and night at a minimum and help keep it clean.
Yeah, I agree.
And Port St. Lucie is not your ashtray. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
That's the worst one, isn't it? I feel like smoking has basically been, peer pressured out of most, but we still...
It's way down, but if you look at NCAP, landscaping, a little island at the end of a parking row in a parking lot, you're going to be like, wow, why is that an ashtray?
I know. It's
and anything that hits the ground basically makes it into the water. So understand that what you put on the ground, or someone, again, no one in here would ever do that, but what litterers put on the ground ends up in the water. It's going to end up in your nearest ditch or swale, then it's going to a pond, and then it's getting discharged to the river and the lagoon and the ocean.
Yep, and if you swim in it, you want it to be clean.
So a filter of a cigarette captures all of the tar and toxins, all the chemicals coming out of the cigarette, right? So it's a very concentrated form of that cancer stick that people smoke, all the toxins. Of course, they don't all end up in the filter, do they? Because they end up in so many smokers' lungs and bloodstream. But so much of it's captured in the filter, and then people are chucking that into the environment and the water. Not a great thing. That's why at the last State of the City, I had PSNL up here, or for you, PSNL, and little fish bowls. I don't know if you knew that.
fish.
Had some betta fish in there, and I said, what would happen if we brought and dumped this bag of cigarette butts picked up from Westmoreland and Port St. Lucie Boulevard and put it into the fish bowls?
Yes.
It would
And
not have been.
P&S are still swimming around.
That would have given the State of the City dress last year, an R, or maybe like an NC-17 type rating? Yeah, it wouldn't have been
And
good.
PETA would have been,
Yes,
you know.
they would have been here.
Yeah. Mark is in the back, and you said you would be willing to take.
Oh yeah, let's
Always.
take the questions.
My name is Laura Souza, and I just recently moved to Port St. Lucie in October. I am the #1 fur baby event planner in the country. I have raised throughout the country $350,000 for rescues throughout the country. I moved from Delray. And every year I help the city to do an Easter parade where you bring your dog and do an Easter bonnet to raise funds for the local Delray rescue. I'd like to see how I actively could get involved with helping the City Humane Society. I just got finished last weekend doing the St. Lucie's Farmers Market that just recently opened. We brought a fur baby fashion show, and it was the largest attended farmers market Sunday they've had since they've opened. So I kind of need a little guidance. I worked with the mayor in Delray for many years. We did the Easter parade. We did a St. Patty's Day parade. And I would also like to see about maybe doing some galas like I do throughout the country to support the Port St. Lucie Humane Society. So I came today to see who I need to speak with. You know,
You
my
came to the
company
right
is
place.
called
Yeah, you-
G-Girl Productions.
Yeah, you came to the right place. We are the St. Lucie County Humane Society, but the mayor can help you out with that.
Absolutely. So welcome to the City of Port St. Lucie. So glad to have you, and thank you for working hard to make the world a better place and taking care of our pets. Sarah, right there, will grab your contact information. And we do have a partnership now with the Humane Society of St. Lucie County. And a new board is being put into place, and we're implementing a fresh start plan. And we want to have the best countywide no-kill shelter in the world. That's kind of the vision. So certainly your energy, creativity, and fundraising could go a long way towards making that happen. So let's get you plugged in and see, how you might become part of the team. There's additional board seats available if you're interested in serving on the board. So we're still taking applications. So the Humane Society of St. Lucie County is a nonprofit corporation. It was established in 1955. But as part of this Fresh Start initiative, the agreement that we've made, the strategic partnership, we are going to place up to, I believe, 7 board members on the board of directors. So I just did the first 3, so the city still has 4 more. And you might be interested to know that I just sent Chairman Townsend and Mayor Hudson a letter expressing my hope that they'll join us at that facility rather than investing anew in the old Savannah Road facility. That's kind of in the weeds. You might not have been following all that, but there's been some upheaval and turmoil with our Humane Society, and now we're trying to rebuild it from the ground up to make it the best in the world. Love to have you on board.
I realize that because when I've been meeting people here, they have said, oh, you need to get with the mayor and let him know what you do because the Humane Society really could use some help.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
So
we can't hear you with that.
initial contact, check, and now we'll take it to the next level. But Sarah will grab your information, and I'll put you in touch with the people, and we'll see where we go. But thank you and welcome. What neighborhood did you move into?
Newport Island.
Newport Isles.
Ah,
Great.
she's in the city proper.
Glad to have you.
Good.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So my name is Mark, and this is really more of a thank you because about a month ago or so, December 10th, my wife was in a terrible car accident.
Oh, I'm very sorry about that.
She had to be cut out of her car. She was in the hospital for a week. Long road to recovery, still not 100%, but I contacted you through Facebook, Mayor, and you were so fast to reply to my request. It was about the data breach that...
Oh, I remember, and I think our wives actually know each other. It's like
yes, my wife is a social worker for the school district, and I've worked for the state of Florida in Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast protecting children for the past 11 years of child abuse and neglect. And I was getting nowhere with regards to getting a police report that everybody needed, the insurance companies needed and everything, and due to the data breach, there was an issue of getting that reported. I reached out to you, and you responded on Facebook and Messenger probably 15 minutes later, and then you followed up a couple of times after that and got in touch with the sheriff's office. And I just moved to St. Lucie a little over a year ago, and never had any kind of dealings with the mayor or city hall in Palm Beach, in West Palm Beach and Royal Palm Beach. But I want to thank you for taking the time out of your day off on a Saturday to, reach out to a citizen who had really nowhere else to turn to try to get assistance with trying to get the police report. It wasn't helpful, unfortunately, because of the data breach. We still couldn't get it, but we finally got it after everything was kind of cleared up. But I wanted to show up today to just tell you that I'm just grateful that you actually did that.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, first of all,
I hope your wife she's doing better?
She's back to work finally.
Okay.
Good.
So she's doing better. We had to get
on the right track.
Yeah.
I hope you get her Valentine's Day present just as nice as you just gave me.
I actually got her a mug that you put underwater. It's all a black mug, and you put it under hot water, and a picture of me in a cowboy hat.
I like it.
So,
if that's what she's into, you can't do any better than that.
I do like it. Well, I want to first say thank you to him.
Yeah,
for
well,
coming
I want to
down.
thank him. That was beautiful.
Because he made a special trip to thank you, but also people should know that you are very good about responding.
Well, now I'm feeling really guilty. I really need to get on Facebook. It's been a very busy week, but you can reach us through a number of ways. Facebook is one of them. I don't know if you've ever read the book Love Languages. There's love languages as far as romantic love, but there's also love languages for business. It's a very short book. I highly recommend it. I think you'll get a lot of insights out of it. But if you read it, you know that Mark just helped keep my love tank full. So that's really the great thing about this job, is helping people and solving problems. And in this particular case, as you may have read, the sheriff's office was subjected to a cyber attack that shut down the computer system for a long time. And honestly, I don't know the current status of where they're at.
They're not back up totally yet. They're working on it. I mean, maybe by the time this airs, it will be. But they've really tried to do it internally, and so even email is still not. I have to correspond with them via text, and it's a lot. It's a lot.
So that impacts everyone in a lot of ways, including if you needed an accident report for your insurance because your wife was in a terrible car accident and you didn't know what to do. Now, as it turns out, the sheriff is a county agency. It's outside the jurisdiction of the city, but that doesn't mean we just say we can't do anything. We still try, and just to give the sheriff love, I reached out to the sheriff through a kind of an unpublished line, and he responded within minutes and said, hey, tell Mark to contact this number. And so there's a lot of good public servants out there.
There are.
And we appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming down here and taking time out of your day.
Sheriff is also very responsible, and that is unusual to have the mayor, the sheriff, and your chief of police responsive as well. We have another question.
Yes, good morning. My name is Michael Neidick. I live down on Crowberry Drive at the end of Polynesian. I was wondering what the city's plans are for resurfacing some of those neighborhood roads. I know ours is falling apart and we have grass growing in the middle of the street. When we get heavy rains, the corner of Polynesian and Crowberry floods so bad. My daughter lives over on the other side of Polynesian, and when I walk to her house, I got to walk in ankle deep water to get to her house. Now, I did have a drainage engineer out there maybe 3 years ago, and he told me that there was plans to put a pipe in under the road at the corner of Polynesian and Crowberry, but nothing's happened there since then. And they told me that as far as the road goes, we're not on the 5-year plan, and we're not even on the 10-year plan.
Well, we're going to find out. We have the master plan. Where is that area? I'm not familiar with
It's if you go up Floresta and make a right on Polynesian Avenue
Okay.
and go the whole way down to the end, we're right on the water, right there on the corner.
Okay, so you're east of Floresta.
Yes.
You're east of Floresta.
Just east of Floresta.
East of Floresta. on
And
the
what's the major east-west? Are you north or south? You're south of Thornhill, yeah?
Yes.
Oh, okay, so that
Yeah.
is city.
We're about,
Oh, it's definitely city.
Okay, I wasn't sure if it was further north.
yeah, we're on Long Creek right down there.
Okay, so this is a master plan, and he's going to search for that right now. This is the master plan of improvements. It's available on their website, and he's going to try to find your road
Okay.
and see what
It's just like every time we get a real heavy rain, the street floods. Crowberry, Polynesian.
So we're working with two issues. I mean, they may be interrelated, but
the resurfacing with the grass in the middle is one, the drainage is the second.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there are two issues there, but let's see what he can find out. And these, for those of you watching at home, it's coded by color the year in which the improvements are planned.
all right. So if we go down to the boulevard and we make a left onto Floresta, how far are we going north to get to you?
He says it's before
Down
Thornhill.
Polynesian.
There's Thornhill.
See, yeah, it's right in there.
Yeah, let's see.
I don't-
Is this it? This one doesn't have a name on it. Let me just check it. It should be there.
That must be it.
Yeah, there it is.
Yep.
So let's see here. Let's see what happens.
I can't see it on your computer, but I can see it on the TV screen. I appreciate that.
So this one is, let's see here.
I mean, when we get some heavy rains and that water lays for a long time, we actually get tad.
Well, it's definitely
Oh, yeah,
recognizing sections of it as being in poor condition. So let's see here. So it's currently scheduled for 27, 28. We have a 10-year master plan that we're working through.
That's the repaving. That's the.
That's a
Correct.
repaving for
Yeah,
27,
28 is the repaving.
So,
portion.
and I'll follow up on your stormwater. So Sarah, if we could get his contact information.
I know some of the drainage ditches, where they put that black half pipe or whatever. In some of those areas, they're not even open. The grass is growing across them.
So we have about 1,000 lane miles of roads, and previously we were only repaving on a 40-year schedule. The useful life of a road is about 20 years. The city of Port St. Lucie, one of the reasons why we were incorporated is actually a dispute between the developer at the time, General Development Corporation, and the
Right.
county over road methodology. GDC wanted to do a cheaper methodology that uses soil cement, just binds the existing soil rather than putting in crushed rock. And the county said, no, you can't do that. So GDC said, we'll incorporate then. So some of our old roads, were built pursuant to a poor methodology to start with. So that's one of the things actually I'm very proud of our council for, is that when we got together, we did a repaving master plan, and now we're going to be on a 20-year or better cycle. So the roads are going to be taken care of, but we're playing catch up.
Right.
We went through the city we hired a consultant, we did ground penetrating radar, we did laser, all kinds of methodology to rank the roads. So even though yours is bad, and I don't dispute it, I'm sure it is, we kind of are getting to the worst ones first, and there's actually worse ones out there than yours.
I'm sure.
And right now yours is listed at 27, 28 fiscal year. We're trying to beat that.
Okay.
I'm asking for additional money in this year's budget for repaving. The half-cent sales tax that was approved is going to augment repaving.
That's why I voted on that.
So it's my goal to beat that by a few years. So as long as I'm here, I'm going to be pushing on beating that. We're going to do no worse than that, but let's see if we can move it up years. And then I'm going to specifically look into the stormwater issue.
Okay.
And see if you got into the loop. some of our swale projects, again, because the swales go with the roads,
Right.
you got 1,000 lane miles, and it takes Public Works a long time. And to be perfectly blunt, they haven't been perfect in following up on 3-4 year requests, setting expectations. You know, in the past, I have received cases in my office where, you know, a good citizen like you says, Greg, they said they were going to be here in 2 years. It's been 3 years. I haven't heard from them. That's unacceptable. We got a new system in place to do better on that, even though it still may take, we got that many in the hopper,
Right.
so to speak. But let me get the exact details and then follow up with you.
Okay, great.
But thank you so
I
much for
Thank you very
coming
much.
out. Absolutely. And I love having you at coffee with the mayor, but that is the bread and butter of the council office. We deal with that all day long on all different kinds of issues: litter, block swales, speeders, traffic calming. Brandon and Christina in the council office are amazing. 871-5159, 871-5159. We'll be happy to deal with it in the same way right from the office. You don't have to wait for the second Friday of every month.
Friday of
Yes,
every month.
please, we'll get right on that for you. That is true.
Pastries.
That is true. And I got to say, I do like having you because it's nice to have an audience
Yes.
show, you know. And actually, so what they tell you at college is that the ones that sit in the front row and on the aisle, those are your A students. So this is like an A bunch because everyone is followed the rules there.
All right. Very good.
Good morning. My name is Donna Neidick, and I am a small business owner here in Port St. Lucie. And you brought up about keep the city clean. Our family and our business just joined you this past weekend for as a volunteer, and we have our business and our family. We went out Saturday for the first day to clean up along Crowberry Drive, and I'm telling you, what you said is so accurate about bottles and things. We went down by the river at one point, by the creek, and there's so much debris that's washed into that area. It took us, it was my daughter and my granddaughter and myself started it, and it took us 2 hours to get around the loop that we're supposed to be doing because there was so much waste. So I would encourage anybody, a family, a business, small business, to get involved. They only want you to go out once a month. Go to the website and look at, what they ask of you. But we're going to try and do it as often as we can. We're going to try and get other neighbors involved as well.
What was Donna?
Donna.
Yeah, thank you. So everyone give Donna a big round of applause and her group. That's the Adopt a Street program, and we're right around 100 teams. Hey, is Elite a member of the Adopt a Street program?
We are not. We would look into it.
We would love to have you, John. We'd love to have you in Elite.
Yes, sir.
Hi there.
Morning. I'm Bruce Opland. I've been here in Port St. Lucie for 36 years.
It's a good run.
Live about a mile from here. And all through the years, I've heard innumerable questions from people I run into. Why is the water pressure in Port St. Lucie so high? It's much higher than anywhere I have ever lived. And if you look at it, you're pushing out more pressure, so you're getting more water through when you turn your faucet on. People are running into their washing machine and dishwasher hoses breaking off. Their toilet tanks, the valves in there are failing at a high rate. And the amount of water coming in through your septic systems is increasing and increasing the effluent in the water. There is a conflict of interest, if you will, here. I can see where the city water department would like the water pressure as high as it could possibly go, because the more water you use, the more income they have. But I would suggest that the city conduct a study by an outside organization to see if it would be possible to lower the water pressure and provide adequate service and reduce the water bills for the community and reduce the environmental impact.
This is
Well, thank you for your comment. That's the first time I've heard it. We'll be happy to take your information, and I'll be happy to to do at least initial level of analysis to see if your assertion is true. And then I'll be happy to share my findings with you.
I have never heard that before.
Yeah.
No.
I've heard of the issue before as a general municipal issue. I haven't heard it here. Normally our pressure spikes when they're cleaning the lines or doing a maintenance activity, but not as a base. I'll be happy to test the assertion though.
I'm as far out from the Pineville plan as possible. I don't have that problem. I'm certain of it.
Well, and that's actually going to play into it. So you're going to find that the pressure closer to the plant is going to be higher because it has to push out to the edge. And because the city is 120 square miles, depending on your location, you may find that you have higher pressure, but it's so that at the very end of the line, so to speak, that you're still maintaining adequate pressure and it's sufficient so that you do not have any type of growth on the inside of the lines.
Yeah.
And
Interesting, though.
we do a pretty good job maintaining the lines, and that's why, unlike a lot of other places, we don't have to do heavy chemical dosages and blow out the lines every couple of years. We actually did it a couple of years ago for like the first time in 13 years. And then we had some complaints about, there's a chlorine smell. Well, that was maintaining the lines, but we hadn't done it in a very, very long time. And pressure is also part of that equation. So we'll see. It's certainly, I've been here since, bless you, not as long as you have. I've been here in different capacities since '02, and I've never heard or caught on to the city trying to game the system for a few bucks in the utility.
All right.
Oh, he's holding it.
He is.
Good morning, Mayor. I'm one of those front people, right? Yeah, yes.
Absolutely. You write a newsletter, you go to River Nights.
Right.
Very involved.
You offered me French fries. Thank you very much.
Ketchup.
Yeah.
You mentioned a couple of things like, number 23 in the nation for people wanting to move in. Okay, and I think that kind of goes
We're
along.
actually higher for people wanting to move. We're 23rd most desirable
Yeah.
place to live in the country, according to U.S. News and World Report.
Yeah, I think that's probably a reflection of lots of things in the city, why people want to move in, as opposed to some places like Baltimore or Chicago or L.A. where people want to move out, okay? So I just wanted to mention to you that, we do appreciate the fact that the growth and everything is so well managed and things are just happening. My wife was taking a friend of mine's his wife in a convertible around the city, so you might want to tell him her reaction. They live on the West Coast, and she's from up north, and she's visiting. And a friend of mine was trying to convince her to sort of see if she could consider Florida, and she wasn't too impressed with, West Coast. But one day with my wife in a convertible around Port St. Lucie, she said, if I knew about East Coast, I would consider that. And so, that's again.
Thank you, Ambassador.
Always need ambassadors.
Absolutely.
And we've got another question.
I can speak with you later. It's a one question, one go max. I'll get with you after the show.
Mayor Orvik, I just want to say excited to see what's happened over the past 6 years I've lived here. And we're so excited about Crosstown being completed. It's been wonderful. So now that we're looking ahead into the 2020s, what's maybe something that you're in particular extra excited about as you look ahead in this decade for the city?
Between you and Henry, I mean, I gotta save some for the state of the city. We're doing it in April. Yeah, I'm giving out, I was last night at River Nights. I'm like, oh no, I'm using some of my best moves.
You're holding back.
I need to save these. Well, you can only go so big, so you have to have levels. But all right, you came to coffee with the mayor on a Friday, so I'm gonna give it to you. So Henry was hitting on something, that we are really on the upswing. We're in one of those special moments of time. I don't want us to take it for granted, because it's not always like this. You don't always have a council that's united with an administrative team, with the public, the way that we're working together, with the citizen survey and the citizen summit and the strategic plan, and people being constructive. And we got a lot of stuff to work on, but we're going to do it in a constructive way, and most of us are going to work together. We're going to be marching towards this vision. And why it's a desirable place. We're desirable, I think, and I've studied it for a long time. I started visiting here in the 90s because we have what makes Florida, Florida at best value. Like if you don't like Florida, this is not the place for you. But if you like Florida's natural environment, if you like going to the beach, if you like going on the river, if you like going on the lagoon, you like fishing in the ocean, you like playing tennis and golf and pickleball and whatever else you're into year round, then you can do that here at a better value than anywhere else. And for as much as I hate the traffic on St. Lucie West Boulevard and Port St. Lucie Boulevard South between Gatlin and Becker, and we're working really hard, and as much as I hate for a good citizen to come in here and say he's got grass growing in his street, I know from the other places I lived in Florida and that I've visited that there's still nowhere I'd rather be. And the people that are here and enjoy it, we feel the same way. And so we're on this really positive upswing where not only are we the safest large city, not only do we have the highest rate of home ownership essentially in the country, not only are we diverse where we all live together and there's no this neighborhood or that neighborhood. In addition to that, just this last year, we were recognized by U.S. News and World Report as being one of the best places to live near a beach, one of the best places to retire, one of the places everyone's moving to, and the 23rd most desirable place in the entire country. So having an objective third party identify you as all these great things, it's, that's heartening, right? You should take pride in that. We should get pumped about that. But then understand that we're just scratching the surface. So for as long as I've visited Port St. Lucie, we've been a safe place and a place of homeowners, because you can afford to live in Port St. Lucie. If you and your partner, you have a two-income household, you can afford a great house in Port St. Lucie. It's going to blow the doors off of anything else in the state. So we've always been a great bedroom community and a great retirement community. But I just feel like right now, as your mayor, reflecting on where we're at and what's happening in Southern Grove, in Tradition South there around Cleveland Clinic, around Tradition Hospital, I just feel like we could be great without any caveats, without any exceptions, that we could be one of the nation's certainly greatest cities of under 500,000. So we're 200,000 now. At build out, we'll be about 400,000. Like even if you hate growth and development, you say, Greg, you and the council stop that. We can't because it's entitled. There's a legal right to that additional development. It's going to happen out west. So we got to manage it, as Henry mentioned, right? But so we're going to be 400,000. So we're not going to be a million. We're not going to be New York, or Chicago or LA. And that's good. Let's not be them. Let us be the greatest city of under 500,000. What does it take to get there? Well, that's going to take Southern Grove, that 1,220 acres, the research element, the hospital element, probably turning to some type of downtown environment. It might not be like the classic downtown, but it should be walkable. It should have different elements. It should have thousands of jobs. That should be the employment center for the Treasure Coast. All right, so that's got to happen. What we're doing at the Westmoreland property on the river is the heart of this community. So many of us drive over it. Crosstown actually is going to be huge because it lets you interact with the river in a way that you do not on PSL Boulevard and Prima Vista. So a lot of people are getting exposed to the river because of the design of that bridge. And so now we're going to create an iconic destination, one of the places you have to take your friends. Like maybe Clover Park right now is one of the places, Mets. Maybe that's one of the places you have to take your friends. Maybe you take them to Club Med. But that Westmoreland project, that's going to be one of the places where you're like, did you go to Port St. Lucie? Or, hey, when you visited, yeah, you went there. So that's got to be a special place. And then the other thing I feel very strongly about is that eastern Port St. Lucie, from the river east, has to be about something. We have to make the east side something special, because if we do not, then Tradition, Southern Grove, St. Lucie West, they're going to suck all the air out of the room. And the eastern part of our city is going to get left behind. We can't allow that to happen. So what will it be? This year is really, we have to figure out what city center is going to be, because city center anchors eastern Port St. Lucie. I don't care that it's in receivership. I don't care that there's challenges. We have to figure it out this year. And of course, I'm only one of 5, but as mayor, I feel very strongly that Eastern Port St. Lucie should be about the water. You go east to go to the beach, you go east to go to the savannas, you go east to go to the river, you're going to go east to go to the Westmoreland Project and Botanical Gardens. And so I really want to see that be a theme of City Center. But we're going to figure that out together this year and the next couple of years ahead. And so those are the huge things. I also think that if 90% of the people of Port St. Lucie think that we should have a connection to the beach via another bridge, that this council needs to take a step in making that happen. And I also feel very strongly about resiliency efforts and doing our part. You know, I said before that I think one of the special things about Port St. Lucie is that we have what makes Florida, Florida. Well, we got to keep that. So what we're doing out at McCarty Ranch, if you haven't been there, is special. But we need to have a green edge, and I'd love to see that green edge connect via a beautiful Greenway trail system to the river, the river shed, and the savannas. And actually out there, a GL who's doing Valencia Cay, Riverland, the trail that they're doing out there called the Paseo, it is ridiculous. I took a tour of it last week. I mean, if we get that thing connected through this city, it's going to blow your mind.
Okay, I don't think we have any more questions today. So
I'll take any double questions at the end.
Yeah,
because he was the first double question.
Okay, so the mayor will stay with everybody to answer all the questions in great detail.
Absolutely.
Of course, very good. I knew you would. Well, I want to wrap things up. And we're going to say thank you to the studio and Sarah and everybody. And of course, At Your Service Catering does a great job for us and my staff that puts everything together. And you, of course, for allowing us into your home.
It's the people's home.
The people's home to do this show every single month. It is a lot of fun for us, I feel like. I may be speaking for you, so I apologize.
Oh, this is I mean, I don't know how they feel about it. They might be bored. I think it's a lot of fun.
Yes.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, good. Thank you. But it is absolutely informative, and it's a great place to come down and interact with you as the mayor, because I think that you're very accessible and people need to take advantage of that. So anyway, thank you to all of you for joining us today. And remember, second Friday of the month, 8:30, right here, Council Chamber, City Hall, At Your Service, free catering, coffee, Danish. We hope you come next time. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.